Hello and welcome to another one of my unboxings. This time I have the Gemini200 American Airlines 737-800 in the new colors. Now let's get started with the unboxing. Now when you open up the box, you'll notice that it does not have the three-part stand here. It actually comes with the Gemini250 stand. I do like these stands a lot better than the three-part stands if you've seen my previous videos. Also comes with gear doors to display the model in flight. Now let's get to the actual model. I'm not sure exactly when this model was released. It was a 2013 release, of course. I think it was over the summer, maybe. Now, I believe Gemini really did a very good job on this model as well. I found out about the in-flight 200 American 737 way before I found out about this model, and I never thought that I'd ever buy a new livery model because I'm not a big fan of this livery. It's growing on me, but it's going to take a long time for me to get used to, because I'm a big American Airlines fan of the older American Airlines, specifically with the old livery, things like that, before Airbuses and stuff like that. I don't hate the new branding, but it's just going to take some time to get used to. Now, I kind of wanted to get this model because I heard there was a rumor that they might change the flag on the tail back to the old AA logo. I thought if I were to get this model, it would be pretty rare because that livery with the flag on the tail wouldn't exist for very long. And, of course, they're not going to change the flag now, and it's not that big of a deal to me. I think it looks, I don't know. It's just different, I think. Nevertheless, I do like this model. If I had to pick an airplane that the new American livery looks best on, I think it's the 737. It looks decent on the 737, but I really don't like it on any other airplane. If they start painting the MD-80s in this livery, I'm gonna be very upset, because MD-80s in the original livery look amazing, and I don't think they look very well in this livery. I've seen the pictures in the American Way magazine of the computer animation of the new American MD-80 in this livery, and it doesn't look too great. Anyways, back on topic. Now, this was the original American Airlines aircraft with this livery. The registration is November 908, November. I think Gemini got the colors just right. Everything looks pretty good on here from what I've seen in person. I've actually flown on a few new livery airplanes, 767, one ERJ, and I think a few 737s. I have seen this livery up close in the paint shop in Grissom, Indiana. I've seen it, they had a 767 completely painted. The registration of that was 767 Alpha Juliet. Actually, I'm sorry, that was the 777. There's a 777 that was still in the old livery in the hangar, along with a 737 that was not yet painted but stripped down to bare metal, and a 767 that was fully painted. So I've seen all this livery up close and in person, and Gemini really nailed this model. The tail on the actual airplanes looks amazing up close. You can't appreciate the detail of the tail unless you really get close to it. It hurts me to say that because I really like the old livery. I'm not that big of a fan of this, but it really does look pretty cool. They did a good job on it. And I heard that it's not decals or anything, it's all paint. And if you just saw close-up pictures of it, like very close up, it's very extravagant. And Gemini actually did a very good job at recreating that. It's, of course, not as detailed because it's a 1/200 scale model, but it still does look pretty good. You can kind of see, if I get close enough there, the detail in the tail and also in the logo up front. Now, Gemini, of course, always has the gem-encrusted beacon lights on top of their models. I think that is a great feature that they do. I really like that. That's one of my absolute favorite features in the models. And this model does not have the eyebrow windows. Those are starting to go away on 737s now. I believe all the brand new 737s are delivered without eyebrow windows. Now, I don't exactly dislike that, and I don't like it either. It's just kind of one of those things that it looks okay with or without them. But of course, that's probably if you ask an actual pilot of an airplane that has eyebrow windows, I'm sure they can complain about that because the sunlight shining down on them when they're flying. I'm sure that can get quite annoying and could probably heat up the cockpit a little bit too, and annoy them. Anyways, back to the model. Now, of course, over the wings you have the overwing exits right here. There's not really a flaw to this model that I can tell. Like, sometimes if I get Gemini models, they'll have, chipped paint, not anything major, like maybe on the wings or the back of the wings, something like that. Nothing that's really a big deal, but this one seems to be in just fine condition. Everything looks alright on it. Now, back to the front here. You can see, of course, up front the One World logo there, if the camera will focus. You can see the One World logo there, along with the new flight symbol and the American titling across the fuselage. Now, I remember the first time I flew on an airplane painting this livery, like I said a little while ago. It was the 767-300 from Los Angeles to Dallas, and I sat pretty close to the back. I actually have a video on my channel of a contrail from that specific aircraft. You could actually see it being formed in flight, and it looks pretty cool. But that was the first time I flew on it, and I wasn't too happy about it. I didn't throw a fit or anything, but I just was kind of shocked by seeing it in person for the first time. I believe that was one of the first times I actually saw it was in LA last year. Now I'm starting to get used to it because I'm seeing it a lot more because American flies 737s in Indianapolis and I see it occasionally. But they also do fly the old livery ones in here, of course. Those seem to be a little more common because they're painting them, but they're not doing it so fast where you don't see the old livery at all anymore in 737s. I don't really mind the new livery on 737s, like I said. It looks okay, but I don't think it looks very good on 767s. Now again, back to the model in Gemini. I believe that they're going to do a 777-300 in this livery later this year. Now that's just my assumption. I believe they probably will because I think they got a new 777-300 mold. I have a feeling they're going to do that because I emailed them and asked them about that. Not the 777-300, but about more American Airlines models. They said they're going to be expanding their new livery models in 2014, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a 777-300 this year in the new livery, along with maybe a 767 as well. But if you do not have this model, I'm pretty sure this model is sold out now. You could probably find it online somewhere. I'm sure it's on eBay now. I've seen it recently, and it's not too expensive on eBay. Last I saw it was probably about $70 or so. So if you are interested in getting this model, I like it. It looks nice on my shelf. They did a very good job, and I like how you can change the landing gear to put them in the in-flight position. And it looks pretty good on the stand as well. But I don't always display it on the stand. Specifically, this model I do not have on its stand. I like it better just on its landing gear because I'm almost out of room on my shelf with my American Gemini models all clustered together. But it does look good in there, and I like this model. Thank you very much for watching.